Oh, she put the glasses on for this one. Oh, goodness. Well, welcome everyone to my show From A to Zoe. I'm your host, Zoe Robinson. I have a wonderful, wonderful NP on this show. We're going to be talking about healthcare in its current state, especially involving nurses. Ancey Anderson, thank you so much for joining my show. Welcome. Please introduce yourself to everybody. Tell them who you are, what you do, the whole nine. We want everything.
Okay. Well, hi, guys. My name's Ancey Anderson. I am a friend of Zoe's and her husband, Ryan. Let me see. I'm a nurse practitioner, but I've been a nurse and a registered nurse for over 15 years. So I've had tons of experience within the hospital when I first started, and then I went over to case management, which is where I kind of lodged in towards my tail end of my career. I have been a director of nursing for a long-term facility. And then it just got a little too stressful with, 3 young children at that point. So I dialed back, went back into case management and became one of the best case managers there and ended up being a trainer to train other case managers on how to do their job. So that's pretty much what I do right now. I'm also a board member for a nonprofit called GTLE, where we serve like underserved population. We try to give free medical services. We try to provide education, food, whatever we can for them. So that's the main thing that we do there. And then, I have my loving husband who is the love of my life. And then
Kyle, he's such a sweetheart.
he is. My husband Kyle's awesome. And then I have 6 beautiful kids, all growing. Just can't wait till they get out of my house because they're beautiful, but from a distance.
Yes.
So with 6, I get tired. So, it's just inevitable. And then I have 4 dogs, 2 older dogs that are like around 10 years old. And then I have 2 puppies that are going to be 1-year-old in about a month. So yeah, house is full.
You have a very busy household, madam.
Very much so.
Very, very busy.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a blended family, 6 kids.
Yes.
Kyle has 3, you have 3.
Yep.
That is a lot
Yes.
of scheduling under one roof.
Yes.
And of course, you are very culturally diverse in your household as well. So let's talk about the cultures in your house.
Well, I am Indian from India, not American Indian.
Right.
Or Americans. And so I was born and raised in New York, but my parents are from India, have the accent and all. I do not because I was born in New York. My husband is African American. He is from New Orleans. So
girl,
they know.
It shows in everything.
It shows in everything. You can't take New Orleans out of that boy. So yeah, he's very much, 2 different cultures. Which is weird because he's from New Orleans, but he's not a foodie. However, I'm from New York. I am very much a foodie.
Yes.
So yes. So it's very weird because you would expect him to be, but no, he loves seafood. I love seafood. So that's a good thing. But other than that, I mean, literally we just blended in Indian family and ultimately Black family and just kind of mushed together. He has 2 boys and 1 girl. I have 2 girls and 1 boy. So we are the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So we actually say that we're a Blindian family, Blindian. It's in the Black and Indian.
So, yep. Yeah, that you need to trademark that catchphrase.
We did. We absolutely do. Yeah. And apparently there's a few of us now. We have a group that's out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you and I share a special kinship for steak and wine.
Yes.
Which I love. Thank you.
And chocolate martinis.
And clear chocolate martinis.
Yes. Shout out to the keg.
Hey, we love the keg.
Exactly.
It's at the Arlington Highlands for everybody who wants to know. They have a great clear chocolate martini. It's excellent. You got to try it.
Yes.
Okay. So, India, coming from an Indian family, we all know that Indian families are engineers, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're IT specialists, they're nurses.
Yeah.
So in your family, did your family kind of push you into medicine, or did that just naturally develop for you?
It's a little bit of both.
Mhm.
From the time that you're born, you are told you're going to be a doctor. I do it to my kids to this day. None of them are doctors, but I still do that,
Mhm.
but education is a very big thing for Indians. Indians get a bad rep for a lot of other things, like, smells and all that stuff. There's reasons for it, but they get the bad rep, right?
Mhm.
But education is one thing that they believe that you are giving back to God when you educate yourself, because He's the one that gave you the brain, and if
Mhm.
you put it to well use, then what's the use of having it, right?
Yeah.
And we use it because for medicine specifically, Indians do a lot of research, and so their perspective is they want to cure. They don't want to maintain.
Mhm.
Don't want to make it better. They want to cure of the disease. Indians are very notorious for diabetes, and they're notorious for cancer.
Mhm.
Right now, India has a research pill for cancer drug that actually has been working.
Yes, I saw
Yeah,
that came
yeah,
out a couple months ago.
yeah. It has been working. It's all their trials have been passing, every single one of them. Um,
Wow.
yeah, so it's amazing. They're very like light years away from what American standards are. Um,
Mhm.
their education is completely different. Yes, they come here, but they come here because the opportunities. In India, you have opportunities, but less pay. You come
Yeah.
here, you have more pay, more opportunities, right? Um,
Mhm.
and what they do is they send the money from here back home so that they can take care of their families. And eventually, hopefully, bring them here so they can get educated and do the same thing. But
Mhm.
the medical education is completely different. Over here, you just have to label things where they are in the organisms. In India, you have to draw out the actual organism,
Mhm.
you have to draw out their organs, you have to draw out their vessels, their arteries, and you have to label each and every one of them and color code them. So it is an intense,
That is very intensive.
yes, yes. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So it's
Um,
very, very different.
so I want to walk through your journey from being an RN,
Okay.
because that is extremely significant
Mhm.
achievement, to becoming a family nurse practitioner.
Okay.
How long was that journey, and what motivated you through grad school while also still raising a family?
Um, well, see, I had my mom who's a nurse. All of my aunts were nurses. One
Hmm.
of my aunts was a second mom to me, and she was the one who pretty much raised me because she only had boys. So I was like the spoiled one for her. And so she poured a lot of stuff into me. She passed away when I was 16 of cancer. When she passed away, she told me, whatever you do it for God and go
Hmm.
to medicine because your heart is to serve. And so she is the reason I went into nursing. Even though my mom, my dad, everybody was like, go into nursing, become a doctor, whatever you have to do, but do medical. My aunt
Hmm.
was specific, and she was like, go into nursing because you care for people. And I'm like, okay. So when I started into my nursing career, it wasn't actually as a RN. I started out as a CNA,
Hmm.
and I worked in a nursing facility that paid me and actually paid for my certification to become a CNA. So I went through that class. It was in Kentucky, and it was rigorous, and we still did test and license, did all that stuff. But my roots are from CNA life first.
Hmm.
So I will always be grateful to any CNA, PCA, whatever they want to call themselves at this point in life, um,
Hmm.
because they're amazing. I couldn't do my job as a nurse without having them because they were my support, right?
Yeah.
And then when I became an RN in like 2011, and I have test anxiety. So I suffer from like severe test anxiety. Um,
Yeah.
so I actually took a class after my schooling was done, and it was to help those with test anxiety. And so she taught me methods. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. I wish to God I had this growing up because
Hmm.
would have helped me, in elementary school and middle school and all that stuff. Even though I was a good student, I still suffered from that anxiety.
Yeah.
And so when I graduated RN school, took my boards, everything was great, started working. And like I said, I worked from the ground up. We all start out at the hospital because we have to, not because we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Bedside is great, but the hospital systems lately have been changing the criteria and the requirements for nurses. They've been overworked, they've been understaffed. Their ratios are no longer like 1 to 2 or 1 to 1. They're now like 6 to 1, meaning one
Oh,
nurse, 6 patients. And that's
that
the,
that's a heavy workload.
but that's on the like high risk floors, like ICU or CCU, those type of things.
Oh my God.
On med surge, you have maybe 15 to 20 to one nurse. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh no.
Yeah, the ratios are
ICU patients should be like 2 to 1.
yeah, yeah,
2 patients for one
exactly,
nurse.
exactly. And so they're pushing it, they're trying to make it 4 to 1. It's just they're really killing nurses, honestly. So a lot of nurses don't want to do nursing anymore. They don't even leave to do like a side hustle. They leave the community altogether. They leave the profession altogether. They go into interior decorating, something completely far away from medical because they're that burned out, and it leaves a bad taste in people. You
Yeah.
know? And so that's hard. So when I went through bedside, I went through the same thing, nearly broke my back because I worked at the psych unit at one point and I was afloat.
Mm-hmm.
So they floated me to that unit because they were understaffed. And literally a patient picked me up, flipped me over, and dropped me on the floor.
Oh
And
my
so,
gosh.
yeah, so I was injured and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't break my back. It's not worth it. So I left bedside and looked for a case manager job. And I worked in the hospital as a case manager. And then I worked in group homes as case manager. And then eventually I got a job with a insurance company. And so I was a case manager and a transition of care coach, which is a person that tries to stop readmissions uh,
Mm-hmm.
by empowering the patient and giving them knowledge on their condition so that they know what to do to not go back in the hospital.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's just knowledge deficit. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to kind of work the system in order to understand it. It's hard to think healthy, buy healthy, when you are little to no income, you know? So
Ramen noodles are cheap.
yeah, yeah. So I would teach different ways to look at sugars and look at carbs and whatnot and say you can still have this, just don't have so much of it. You
Mm-hmm.
can't afford fresh vegetables. Okay, buy the canned ones. That's fine. If you can buy low sodium or no sodium. If it
Mm-hmm.
does, because it's going to have sodium regardless because it's preserved. I literally tell them, put it in a colander and rinse it out. Rinse
Yeah.
out that sodium. It's
Yeah.
still vegetables. It can still be rinsed out, and then you put it in some broth, and then you cook it on the stovetop, right?
Yeah.
So that takes out a lot of salt. So I would teach different techniques within their budget.
So
Uh,
that's kind of like public health advocacy
yes,
too.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I'm very
Um,
big on that. I'm a very big advocate for my patients. If they need something, they know they can always call me. I have patients to this day. I've left case management. I now teach case managers how to be case
mhm.
managers, and I still have patients who reach out to me just to kick it because I
Oh,
bonded with
that's
them,
nice.
and yeah, and I know about their kids' graduations. I'm still invited to kids' graduations, and their
That
weddings and whatnot.
that speaks very highly of your character,
Yeah,
and your activism for your patients,
yeah.
because really nurses are activists.
Oh
Uh,
yes,
they're advocates.
yeah.
They are the voice when their
Mhm.
patients don't have a voice. So, is that something that has always kind of been inside of you, that you want to help people, you want to advocate for them, or is it something that you had to learn along your career path?
No, I have always been that way from the
Hmm.
get-go. I'm a pastor's daughter, so I was always raised up in the church, always raised to give, always raised to serve. I fed the homeless. I do feed the city. Like I actively do get involved with my community,
Hmm.
not just the Indian community. I mean, like where I live, because everybody needs help. Everybody, especially now in this day,
Yeah.
everybody needs help. Even the two-parent household can't afford being a two-parent household. So I try to help out wherever I can. I educate wherever I can. Anyone that comes to me for medical advice, I give it to them because I'm like, why am I going to gatekeep? It's medicine,
Right.
right?
Yes.
I'm very big on that. Very, very big on uh, going away from standard medicine. Not saying holistic, but going away from standard medicine because standard medicine is not necessarily meant for anyone other than the white Anglo-Saxon male. It's
Well, so
for
recently I learned about that. A lot of the medical books and
Mhm,
journals, the studies are done on
mhm,
how they build prescriptions are catered to white
mhm,
men
mhm.
over like 40 and above,
Yes.
right? So how do you still focus on healthcare while navigating through like, okay, I need to cater this to a 30-year-old Black woman,
Yeah.
or I need to change this up for a 90-year-old Asian man.
Right.
Like how do you cater your healthcare to different cultures, different backgrounds, other than what standard journals want you to do?
Honestly, I talk to my patients. I listen to them. I get
Mhm,
their cultural sensitivity because I need to know what their culture dictates. Some
mhm,
cultures will say that they can't take medicine because it's against their culture or religion. Some
mhm,
cultures say that you have to only speak to the man. Some cultures say you only have to speak to the woman. So it
mhm,
depends on what it is, but you have to understand your patient. So, you know, I'm very patient centric. Uh,
mhm.
I'm not medicine centric. I'm not standardizing them. I'm not cookie cuttering them. I look at it and say, what do you want to do with your health? You tell me because I can't tell you the why of why you need to make yourself better. You have to tell me because if
Right.
you tell me what your why is, then I can work with that and teach you techniques to get to your goal. But if I'm making the goal for you, you're not going to be invested the way I am.
Mhm.
Right? I need you to be just as invested in your health as I am, if not more, because it's your health.
Right.
So you dictate your care with me, right? I'm not
That
saying give pain medication like right off the bat. I'm not doing that.
right.
But
Right.
realistically, the patient's the one that drives it. They drive the care, or at least they should.
So I've had several doctors of color and different cultural backgrounds,
Mhm.
and every single one of them do that same thing. They focus on me having education about what my ailments, my
Yep.
illnesses are, my injuries are, how I can fix them
Mhm.
with both through modern medicine and through
Holistic.
other
Yep.
means,
Yep.
right? Not necessarily holistic, but
Right.
getting
But
massage therapy, right? Seeking a psychologist
yep.
or a psychiatrist, making sure that my finances are straight. So
Yeah.
we talk about what's going on at work, and I appreciate that from the nurses and the doctors that I see, because I know for a fact that they have my best interests at heart, and
Yes.
I'm not just a number to them.
No.
So I want to talk about some of the implicit biases that we've seen lately
Okay.
in news reports with some of these nurses, and it's going to get a little heavy, folks.
I'm
So we're about to go there.
yes.
So these implicit biases, the Dallas Regional Medical Center in Mesquite,
Yep.
right? We saw the woman Carrie Jones
Mhm.
in the emergency room, had already been sitting for a half an hour, was in active labor, like getting ready to deliver.
Yeah.
And this nurse, we're not going to talk about the nurse,
Mhm.
we're not going to say her name, but she sat there
Mhm.
and did intake
Mhm.
with Carrie
Mhm.
for whoever knows how long. It was more than 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and kept repeating herself 2, 3 times on the phone, repeating herself 2, 3 times to the doctor that she's speaking with, and did not take this woman up. She literally said that she was going to have the baby now.
Mhm. Yep.
that is a medical emergency
Yes.
for all of us who have had children.
Yes.
That is a significant medical emergency. Anything can happen at that time. What went through your mind when you saw that video?
Honestly, for the nurse, I was like, how could you be so negligent?
Yeah.
Because that is pure negligence. That's abuse. You watch someone who is in agonizing pain because they're in active labor. This wasn't her first pregnancy. This is her second or third.
Mm-hmm.
The second or third comes faster than the first. First can take a while. It can take 24, 48,
Mine
whatever.
took 3 days,
Yep. It
three and
can,
a half days.
yes. But that second and third one, my third child, I could literally do 2 big pushes and 2 small pushes, and my child was already out. Like I could have sneezed and my child would have been out.
Yep.
That's how fast it is for the second and third pregnancies. So to play around like that, that's a person's life, let alone African American women is the highest rate of deaths for women that are in labor.
Yeah.
So why would you ever do that? Why would you ever put a person's life at risk? You took an oath too. It's not just doctors. We all sit there and say, we are not going to do harm.
Yeah.
And the fact that she just sat there, asked the same questions, you could have easily taken her back, had her evaluated, and while she's being evaluated, ask her some intake questions because you're literally just tag teaming and you're going to ask the same questions.
Mm-hmm.
So that physician or that medical provider does not have to ask it again because you just asked it.
Yeah.
Right. But instead of doing that, she sat there and she just listened to her scream. Like that's negligence, pure negligence.
As a too healthy delivery mother,
Mm-hmm.
when I heard her scream,
Mm-hmm.
and when I saw her get up out of that wheelchair and turn around, I was like, she's gonna drop that baby on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's gonna come right out right then. I knew. And the nurse has children.
Yep.
How could you sit there and see another mother?
So I have strong feelings about that. I feel like in this day and age, no one looks out for each other anymore. Everyone's in it for themselves. Every single person is in it for themselves. And it's a damn shame because when you're in healthcare, you can't be in it for yourself. That's the whole purpose of healthcare is to take care of others. People say that nursing is an easy job because, it's easy making money. We don't choose this. The ones that actually want to do this job, we don't choose this because of the money. We choose it because we want to take care of people. We want to make a difference, right? We want to change healthcare. That's why I went into going further with my studies and going into nurse practitioner, and now I'm going into my doctorate because I want to actually do research. I'm not trying to get the doctor in front of my name. I want to do research and I want to make a change in healthcare. So I think that's my biggest thing.
So there's some people online that are saying the nurses burnt out, and you did talk about earlier how we do have a lot of burnout in the nursing field. Do you think that being burnt out would excuse what she did?
Absolutely not.
In that video? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. The way I look at it is you're a caregiver. You chose this job. You chose this profession. If you're burnt out, leave. It's a choice. And it's just like, I'm not trying to be ignorant when I say it, but your career doesn't make or break you. It gives you money. Yeah. It feeds you. Yeah. Great. But any job that if you work hard enough, you can make your own side hustle and do the same thing, probably make more doing that because you're doing something you love. When you get burned out, I'm sorry, hospitals need to learn to stop, and they won't ever stop as long as we keep getting burned out and doing the job.
Yeah.
Saying so nurses have to stick together. I've been seeing all over the news, HCA is under the fire. Nurses are going on strike, and not like just one floor, the whole hospital.
The whole hospital.
Yes. Yeah. One hospital, the entire medical team refused to clock in until they had adequate supervision. So managers, directors, all there, because they were left alone. nurses to just fend for themselves.
Wait. I thought they had to be attached to a doctor in order to provide care to their patients.
No, doctors were there, but what I'm saying is, so when you're in nurse in the hospital, you have to report to a nursing supervisor. If
Uh-huh.
there are any issues that come up, you have to go to your supervisor because they are the ones that guide you on the hospital policy and how to proceed.
Yes.
Well, nursing supervisors weren't there. Managers,
Oh no.
yeah. So they were kind of like, we're at home. You're good. You can handle it. And so nurses, medical staff refused to clock in because they were like, nope, until you get enough staff in here, we're not doing it. So the medical leaders had to come in, the nursing supervisor, the nurse manager, director of nursing, they all had to come in.
I've
And
never heard that they are not coming into the hospitals.
yeah, some of them don't because I mean, especially if it's like night shift, right? They're not
How
going
would you expect to take care of an emergency as a manager
exactly.
as and stay at home?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can. So
There are
that's
just some fields where you have to show up in person.
yes, but hospitals are trying to look at budgetary versus person.
Oh, they're
That's
not
where, yeah.
there.
So healthcare in this country is shot, honestly, because when you look at it, they're all about the money. They're not about the
Yeah,
patient.
yeah,
And when we went away from the patient, think about it. We weren't unhealthy the way that we are now back in the
right.
day. Realistically, we aren't. Yes, you had disease back in the day, but and it was newer diseases. So they had to do research and find out how all these cures and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
I'm not talking about them, but I'm talking about like hypertension, diabetes. You did not have a lot of that back then because you didn't have foods with hormones. You ate food from the table. Mom and dad cooked, or mom
You
cooked.
didn't have food with pesticides
Yeah,
either.
exactly. Mom,
And what is the big thing now? It's Roundup
yes,
that has been sprayed on all the corn and wheat and
chickpeas.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but we're ingesting it. So, small amounts, can it hurt you? No, but after a while, it's not so much small amounts anymore.
Yeah.
So, that's something that we have to watch out for. So, is it expensive to go buy organic? Absolutely. I don't know if anyone's ever gone to the store to buy organic meats, organic fruits, organic milk. It's almost triple the amount of a regular, grocery at the store.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
it's not cheap, but God bless the farmers that grow it.
Yeah.
They're doing their job and they're trying to get all this food out there, but we keep poisoning the food by putting all these chemicals in it and
Yeah.
hormones, adding hormones.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I still want to stay along the lines of like if your daughters were to get pregnant
Mhm,
and go into labor,
mhm.
um, what's something that you would make sure they are protected that we can do or you can do to protect them in
Um,
the emergency room and in the hospital?
Patients have rights. Patients need to demand their rights.
Yeah.
I would tell my girl, you go ahead and tell them I want a physician or I want a provider. I want to see someone now. I'm not waiting. I want to see someone now. It is my God-given right. If I came to this hospital, that's your job to provide services, not to sit there and do intake. You can do intake at any time. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're having a baby, they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You know? And what would you rather do? Would you rather be able to save both lives? Or do you now want to answer to you have to if someone passes away, whether it's a baby or the mother, you have to do M&M, you have to do you might have legal actions against you towards a hospital. Like there's a whole slew of extra things that you have to go through. Why do you want to
Yeah.
go through the hassle? I'd rather keep my license. And that's what people don't understand is I worked hard for my license. But you can lose your license in this country in a blink of an eye.
Oh yeah.
In a blink of an eye. And so why would you put yourself at risk why did you waste that much money to go to school to lose it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at it and say, treat the patient first, forget the paperwork, see the patient, take care of them, get them straight. Then the paperwork can come in because they're straight. They're on a monitor. They're being monitored. Baby,
Mhm.
monitored, checking the heart rate, checking their position. Everything's good. Okay. She might be in active labor. Even if she gives birth, she's still not going anywhere for at least a day.
Right.
You want her to rest, but she's in the hospital. She's not going to get rest. She knows that. So, after she delivers, you can do the intake at that point. Heck, an hour or two before the hospital discharges, you can do intake at that point.
Mhm.
The only thing is, like, yes, given the guidelines, you have to do certain requirements for billing, and those have to be on time. But intake does not have to be done right then and there when someone is going through a medical emergency, and labor is considered a major
Amen. Yeah.
emergency.
Yes.
You do not
Yes.
push that off,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, um,
Especially, how do you know the mother wasn't eclamptic or had hypertension? Like, you don't know.
right, until you get them hooked up to the monitors, you
Exactly.
take their blood pressure, you check them to
Yes.
see how
Yeah.
dilated or effaced they are. I
Everything.
mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing. My mother-in-law was a nurse for almost 40 years.
Mhm.
So, my husband went to nursing school. I know I know a doctor of nursing.
Yep.
She's in Austin right now. Good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I have so much respect for
Yeah.
what you all do because I could never do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a hard time changing diapers because I can't do the poop
I
thing.
I
Like,
Oh, as a nurse, though, we learn different tricks. We put, like, Vicks on our nose so we don't smell anything, like, yeah.
see, I needed to learn that when I was taking care of my babies.
Yeah.
But I can't like the vomit.
I get it.
I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, I have seen some horror stories on TikTok, and then I've talked to nurses,
Yeah.
my friends,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've gotten pooped on.
Yeah.
We've
Get
had to
worms.
pick up limbs,
Worms.
worms."
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was like, "So the stuff in Grey's Anatomy, a lot of it's real." They're like, "Oh yeah, a lot of it's real."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The best show to watch if you wanna really see what a hospital's like is The Pit.
The Pit.
The Pit is
Oh my god.
amazing.
I freaking cried
Yes.
so hard
Yes.
at the Pit. I can't wait for season 2.
Me too. I can't wait. I've always liked Noah Wyle, though. Even back in the day when he used to be
Yeah.
on ER, like, that was
Yeah.
a good show because it was
Yeah.
one of the very first ones that showed a hospital setting, right? And
Actual hospital setting.
you saw, honestly, what happens in real life. You saw
Yeah.
abuse situations
Yeah.
where doctors had to separate the patients from their abuser. You had, people who were homeless. You saw the nurses scrounging to find, shelter for them and whatnot. There was different scenarios, but it was close to being real life. So that's why I like The Pit, because Noah Wiley is a very big advocate for nurses. And I
Yeah.
think his mother was a nurse. I can't remember. I want to say his mother was a nurse. So he really does love nurses. And so
Mhm.
he loved the fact that The Pit came about, because he was like, this shows the true sense of what nurses have to go through.
And it was one day.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what in the hell is that? One day?
Yeah.
The
Those
whole first season was one day.
Yeah. That's
I
what I tell people. Look at someone's shift. Don't sit there and judge them and say, "Oh, they have a piece of cake life." No, we
right.
don't. We go through crap. Are
Yeah.
there good days? Of course there's good days, but honestly, in the medical field, we don't see a lot of good. When we
Yeah.
do see good, we're like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus. We had a
Yeah.
nice day." But it's very few in between. We have a lot of bad days because we have patients from all different everything.
Backgrounds,
Backgrounds, cultures,
financial backgrounds,
conditions.
culture. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we don't just deal with one thing and say, "Oh, this person has hypertension, so everybody's gonna have hypertension." No, you have different things going on with everybody. So that's why being person-centric is so important. Talk to your patient. Each patient is different, you know? But when you talk
Yeah.
to them, you get a better understanding of what their health means to them. How important is it to them? And when you know how important it is to them, they're able to work with you. It makes your job easier.
Yeah.
Realistically, makes your
Yeah.
job easier, because
Yeah.
I don't have to work hard to get the information from them. Who doesn't like talking about themselves?
Oh, everybody should love
Yeah.
Especially, I've got this wrong, I've got that wrong, my back hurts,
My
except,
mama had this. My daddy had this.
okay,
Yeah.
wait a minute. There's one group of people who don't like talking about themselves, and that's veterans. We'll talk about that later, but
I've dealt with
vet,
it. I get it.
veterans, they're like, no, I'm good, I'm fine. It's just a broken finger. Just patch it up, and I'll
Yeah.
be all right.
Yeah.
Like, fool, no, it's not. It's more than a broken finger, sir. Your arm. There's a bone protruding from your arm. You have a compound fracture, sir. You are bleeding.
But
I need to fix that. Oh no, I'm good. No,
no,
just
I
put a bandage on.
I think the healthcare system exacerbated that
Yes,
because they don't take care of our vets the way that they
the
should.
military healthcare system has exacerbated that. Then they get out of the military or they retire, and then they just continue that mentality. Well, I wasn't taken care of in the military, so I'm not going to be taken care of out here.
So, and that's the thing. And so veterans kind of just give up on their own care,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
do.
So I can talk on
It's
that all day because I know I can't
it's
stand it.
oh God, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really is because they have so many issues that they dealt with and they fought for our freedom. I'm here because of the veterans.
Yeah.
I'm here working and I'm technically what other people would say would be foreigner, even though I'm first generation born here, raised here, and all that. People look at me, they're like, "You're an Indian, get out." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, thanks. I was born here, you know." But the veterans, I was a military wife. I was a Navy wife.
Yeah.
And Navy wives have it just as hard. I'm not saying I'm not taking away from what the soldiers did. They all work their butts off. But the Navy wives sit at home taking care of their kids, having a job, doing other things, running the household while the husband is off to wherever.
For
You know,
7 months at a time, gone
yeah.
on a ship.
It could be vice versa. It could be a male at home who's taking care of his kids and working while the wife is
on a ship, 7 months at a time.
Yeah. So I will absolutely defend our veterans to my dying breath because you gave up your life. Who the heck is going to do that?
Yeah.
You know, they are the most selfless system because they like literally they don't even fight it. They're like, okay, I've got to go. Their duty. They don't even second guess it. They're just gone. They're going to take care of us. And when they come back, they get treated like crap. And it's so sad.
I'm still dealing with Ryan's healthcare and what he goes through at the VA, and it's not. Just people who have never been in the military or never been affiliated with the military, they have no clue how difficult it is to get health care for our veterans.
Yeah.
But we'll have that conversation at another time because that's going to be a whole nother show, girl. Because we can really talk about it. It is
that's a lot to unpack. Yes, exactly.
So I do want to switch over to something that's got the nursing community fired up, and it's got all of us, not just nurses, all of us who have family members who have healthcare degrees or who are in healthcare getting additional advanced degrees. The Department of Education excluded nursing from professional degree programs. They cut access to federal loans for graduate nursing education
and
in the United States. When you heard this, I know you probably got just as angry as I did, if not more, because you're actually going through a program right now. Talk about what you're going through and how this exclusion is going to affect you finishing your degree.
So the exclusion is going to make me have to pay out of pocket getting a personal loan at higher interest rates. I am one that makes my payments to the student loan. I pay it back. You know, I do believe if you take out a student loan, you need to pay it back because that's your responsibility, right? I don't shirk on my responsibility. I pay my student loans. Even while I'm in school, I'm paying student loans because I don't want that interest to keep accruing. Even though it's deferred, I still want to knock down some payments.
While you don't have interest.
Exactly. Yes. I work for a company that does not do tuition reimburse or forgiveness. And I don't qualify for it because the company I work for is not a nonprofit. And so because of that, I don't qualify. So I have to pay back every single dime. That's all I'm doing. But in order for me to continue to to school, I have to get loans to be able to pay
Hmm.
for it. I've got 6 kids. There's no way I could pay for school. Plus, they're in school too because I have one, two, three, four that are in college
In college, yeah.
themselves. So it's not easy for us to go to school and continue to move on in our education. The fact that we're considered no longer professional is really messed up because we were absolutely professional during COVID.
Yeah, yeah,
We were professional. We
yes,
were the only ones going into work. Doctors didn't want to come into work.
yeah.
They had to, but they didn't want to come in. They were trying to pawn the nurses to see the patient so that they weren't having that patient interaction to get sick.
Hmm.
you know so it was very, very hard, but the government had no problem asking nurses to come in, sacrificing their lives. Many nurses died during COVID,
Yeah.
many of them. So it's just you kind of look at it and you say, why is this happening? Is it because it's a woman driven field?
I
um,
feel like it is.
yeah.
They have so psychological degrees,
Hmm.
public health degrees, doctors of
Social
education,
work.
educational degrees,
Yes.
social workers.
Yeah.
They're all non-professional now.
Yep.
And it's really sickening that we have healthcare issues, mental health issues,
Yeah.
socioeconomic issues, education
Hmm.
and degradation in our school systems, and now you're going to take away those opportunities for us to train
Yes.
and educate people who want to be in these professions.
Yes.
You're going to take that opportunity away from them to be in those professions. We need teachers.
Yeah.
We need doctors of education. We need superintendents who understand
Hmm.
education. We need good principals and assistant principals in our schools who understand socioeconomic impacts of education on our children. We need psychologists and psychiatrists and social workers who have advanced degrees so that they can help these families out. We need nurses.
Yes.
You guys are like mothers to
Hmm.
children,
Hmm.
nurses to patients. I always see it are like mothers to children.
Yeah.
There is no way you can take care of patients without having nurses.
Yep. I tell everyone, and I speak about nursing because I'm a nurse, but I also speak
Mhm.
about teachers. There's no way in hell. I love my kids. I love my kids, but I have to work. I am not going to homeschool my children because I
Absolutely
can't,
not.
right?
Absolutely
I
not.
can't. I work full time. Unfortunately, we live in the time when you have to have at least one job each parent. Okay? Each person that's
Both.
in the house.
Yep. At least.
If at least one. If not, you have to have two or hustle or something on the side to make
Yep.
a little bit extra cash. Okay.
Yeah.
Let alone I've got 6 kids. So it's a little bit out of the normal range, right? But so because I have all those kids, and yeah, people will say, well, then you shouldn't have had many kids. No, it's a blended family. So I had 3 and my husband had 3. We found each other. God brought us together. What am I going to do? Turn away my 3 bonus children? No, they're my children.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to take care of them the way I would take care of my own because they are my own, you know?
Mhm.
So the way I look at it is you have teachers out there so underpaid and they're taking care of your children all day long. They're with your children more than you are
Yeah.
because they're with them from 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning till about 3:30, sometimes 4. Okay. That's a
Mhm.
good 8 to 10 hours, versus you having them for a couple hours because they got to go to bed at 8:30.
Yeah.
Right? So you might have them for 4 hours in the evening. You're telling me that you're going to underpay these teachers to take care of your kids, educate your kids, and you're going to treat them like crap and then say that they're not professional?
But that part,
Right.
that part gets me.
Right. So I say the same thing about nurses. You're going to sit there and give these ratios that are killing nurses and honestly will kill patients because you're making it unsafe for patients also to have that high ratio. And to do that, you're sitting there and you're trying to say that nurses make the most amount of money. No, nurses make a lot of money. And I'll tell you the main reason why. They're so understaffed that they're it's mandated if they don't have enough staff that the previous shift has to stay for the second shift. Well,
Yeah.
you have to pay them time and a half for that,
Yeah.
right? Because they're overtime at that point. We don't get the luxury of, oh, you worked an extra 8 hours. Here's an extra 8 hours off. We don't get that. We just work the extra 8 hours. You get paid for it. So do you make a lot of money? Absolutely. Not because you want to, because you're
No,
made to.
exactly.
Right. So they honestly are trying to lower the deficit, but they don't understand what you're going to ultimately do is you're not going to have teachers, or you're not going to have people, young men, young women sign up to be teachers. You're not going to have young men, young women sign up to be nurses. So then who's going to take care of everybody?
So I want to say I've had some really, really great experiences with nurses, and the majority of them have been immigrants.
Mhm.
The majority of them are first generation Americans.
Yep.
And they are watching these loan programs completely disappear.
Mhm.
A lot of their families are like, oh no, nursing, doctor, go to school, that's what you do, right?
Yep. Yep.
You have a South Indian family.
Yep.
I know a lot of nurses who speak Tagalog,
Yep. Yep.
and their families pensit, they bring pensit in for everyone, and their
Yep.
families are like, oh no, you go be a nurse.
Yep.
My Vietnamese cousins, my brothers have Vietnamese,
Mhm.
they're nurses.
Mhm.
What can you say about these first generation families, American families, and immigrants who are in this country, who are getting these degrees, being cut off from all of that funding? What's going to happen with them?
Honestly, they're going to work harder and they're going to get a second job and they're going to make the money to go to school. They're going to do it because we're so driven.
Yeah.
Honestly, because we have a heart that we want to serve. We have a heart that we want to take care of people.
Yeah.
And so you won't see non-foreigners doing that. You're going to see foreigners working their butts off because they're sitting there going, I'm going to make a better life for me and my children. I'm going to make a better life for the patients that I take care of, and we truly care. We want to make sure that everybody's good. This generation of kids that are growing up in this country, they're too selfish. They're not sitting there thinking, let me make the world a better place. They're sitting there saying, what's in it for me? Right? And when you're in it saying what's in it for me, you're not going to ever look at the other person and see their needs. The one thing I can tell you about the Indian community that I love, if you're financially struggling, there's another Indian family that will help you. They'll sponsor each other. And I feel like that's what communities need to get back to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we need that. We need those core principles of coming together and everybody eats. We don't. It's all based. The United States is so individualistic.
Yes.
I don't understand it. If I have something, if I have a show, but I have this show, I have my program, and I can give a platform to all of my friends so that they can get exposure for their businesses, what they're doing, their community advocacy, their practice, their program, their comedy, their music. I'm their business. I'm going to provide that platform for them so that we can all eat together. So that we can all love and support each other.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many times in other communities. And I think, speaking from a Black perspective, I think we're finally starting to swing the pendulum back towards community.
Yes, because it was lacking for so long that realistically, it's kind of like if you don't help out your own, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? And when you see, honestly, when you see another family struggling, doesn't your heart break?
Yes.
You sit there and you go, thank God, God bless me with what I have, but I'm here to bless others. That's what we're here for, right? God didn't make us to be selfish. God made us to look out for each other. And so when you, honestly, if you start looking out for each other, It doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, what culture you are. You're all God's children. You could be different religions, but you're still God's children. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Point, take care of each other. When you take care of each other, the world will go around. The world will succeed. But when you sit there going and you're monopolizing because you're sitting there going, well, I can make a quick buck or whatever it is at the expense of someone who's struggling. Make that make sense. You're going to make someone struggle more so that you can move up and financially be okay. Like that doesn't make any sense. Bring them with you. Don't just let them struggle, and don't make them worse than where they were. Make it better. That's how I look at it. When I first moved to Texas, I didn't have much family in Texas. So I had a Thanksgiving that I opened up to other people. Whoever was from out of town, welcome at my house. I didn't even have to know you. It was just open. My friend does that to this day. Every Christmas, she's from Memphis, and she opens up her house to anybody from out of town who's not from Texas. If you don't have a place to go for the holidays, you come to her house. That's what we need to get back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
open up your home and you sit there and say, I'll take care of you. I've got you.
I have childhood friends who live here in Texas. And I'm both, our parents were in the military together. So a lot of times, you grow up and then you grow away from those relationships.
Yeah.
I think military kids have a little bit different perspective.
Yeah, because you're moving around all the time.
On community. Yeah. So we maintain contact with each other. And while we're here in Texas, I have friends who are always like, especially my husband's battle buddies.
Yep.
Right. They live down the street from us, and they're like, come over.
Come over. Yeah.
Me and Ryan in the house now. Of course we have the dogs, but it's just me and Ryan. So we don't cook a lot.
Yeah.
We go to a friend's house, we'll bring a dish or we'll bring food to put on the grill or something. But we still want to maintain that kinship, that community with our friends and with our military comrades, because we know that it takes community to uplift and support each other.
Yeah.
Ryan has an outlet with somebody he can talk to who understands PTSD, who understands what went through in the military.
Yep.
And a lot of times, especially like being on these things all the time, right?
Yep.
We lose that sense of communication, that direct contact with another physical person that you can hug or can hug you and say, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay?
Right.
What do you need?
Yep.
I had so many people while we were going through this government shutdown, because I'm a federal employee.
Yeah.
Say, is there anything I can do for you? Do you need me to come over? Do you guys need food? How are you doing? Do you want to get out of the house? Come to brunch with me. Come to this event. Don't worry, I got you on gas money. Like, I mean, it was so good for me to see. Yeah. I have surrounded myself with people who want to be in my community, right? Who want me to be a part of their community. Yeah. And that is a far different cry than what we went through with the first government shutdown in 2019. I really felt like it was just me and Ryan, and we were kind of stuck by ourselves and we didn't have anything.
Well, I mean, think about when everyone in the world went through COVID. It was lonely. We couldn't go anywhere, do anything. If you went somewhere, you couldn't be in big gatherings. You had to be masked up, and it wasn't the same. Honestly, you had a lot more mental health issues coming about after COVID, right? You have kids that don't want to talk to people. They'll go to the restaurant and point at the food that they want because they can't say it to the, server. And I'm like, that's not nice. Like, just talk to them. Tell them, right? It's just a shame because the humanity is just gone. It's gone. Yeah. And when you're in certain networks or sectors, like the military we're each other's own, to be honest with you, because we have to learn how to make that paycheck stretch. Military members, I remember like it was paid once a month,
Yes.
so you
Yeah.
had to make that stretch throughout. And if you had kids, good God, that's gone in almost like a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that. We would have barbecues, and we'd have like, hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever it is. And we'd cook for our friends because money was tight, you know. Then some days they would cook for all of us because money was tight. So we always had each other's backs. And I feel like certain communities are getting there. Certain communities already have it, and certain communities don't want anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
you know and the ones that don't want anything to do with it, I feel very sad for them, because that's a lonely life to live.
Oh
You
man,
are in your
is it?
own world by yourself.
It is so lonely.
Mhm.
So if you have the ear
Mhm.
of the hospital CEOs in
Mhm.
the United States,
Mhm.
um, and we've been speaking about community, we've been speaking about healthcare advocacy, we've been speaking about things that EMTALA covers, right?
Mhm.
Emergency
Yep.
situations in the ER.
Yep.
What would you demand that they could, or what would you ask that they implement into their hospitals? Like if you could talk to them today and say, okay, tomorrow this is what you need to change.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of states that don't have what they call it, like unions.
Mm-hmm.
I think every hospital system needs to have unions. Absolutely. Because you have patient advocacy now in the hospitals to fight for the patients, which they're amazing, but they're very few. They're like one person to like the whole hospital, right? It's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You have nurses that are advocates, but there's no one advocating for the nurses. So I feel like the healthcare system really needs unions, people to
Yes.
stand by and to sit there and defend these nurses who are burned out, and they're not making mistakes because they're sitting there going, oh, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I'm just going to fake it. They're not doing that. They're
Mm-hmm.
overworked. They have too many patients on their caseload, that they're going to make mistakes because you don't have enough time in the day to give a medication. You don't have enough time to respond to an emergency because you're taking care of another patient.
Mm-hmm.
Patients are horrible sometimes to the nurses. They treat them with so much disrespect, and they look at them like they're honestly, they just look at them like they're the dirt on the bottom of their shoe.
Yeah.
Like, we're taking care of your family. You know what I'm saying? And people don't regard that anymore. So I feel like if you have someone that's looking out for the staff, hospitals are in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Hospitals get paid by insurance company. Well, guess what? Insurance companies are in it for the money. Insurance company gets paid by the government. So
Yes.
a whole big circle that keeps going round and around and round. The only people that are getting rich are them. They're the ones getting the best care. They don't go to regular hospitals to get care.
Let me
They
sip a little tea. Well, vodka and cranberry juice right
right,
now on that one.
exactly. you know. But when you see these guys going to the top of the line hospitals, getting the top of the line care,
Mm-hmm.
why can't the person off the street get the same care? Because that is the oath that we took,
Yeah.
right? Do no harm for anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. But somehow finances come into play. If you don't have enough money, hmm, you're kind of in the bottom of the.
Pushed to the wayside. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, on that note, what can patients do in the hospitals right now
Mhm.
to advocate for themselves?
Fight. Tell them what you want. You're the patient. It's your care. Tell them what
Mhm.
you want. You don't think of it as a hotel service. Don't think of it as a spa. It's not. You're there because you need help, right?
Mhm.
You're there trying to figure it out. Medicine, what people have to understand is medicine is not black and white. It's really not. It's a whole lot of gray areas.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trial and error, because medicine was not meant for everybody.
Mhm.
Medicine was meant for the white Anglo-Saxon male, not
Mhm.
even the female, not even a white female. It was made for a male. So when it's made for a male, there's going to be mistakes that we make along the way because we have to find the right regimen for medication. My husband is a prime example. He has hypertension, had it all of his life. He had blood pressures normally 210 over 150, 120. Those are extremely high numbers. Those are stroke numbers.
Extremely high.
Stroke and heart attack numbers. And we finally got him with a wonderful doctor who happened to be African American. And he immediately took my husband off of the normal standard drugs that they give you and put him on a calcium channel blocker, which immediately worked within a day, because the next day his blood pressure was 118 over 70. And he felt great. No headaches, no dizziness, felt healthy, felt energized. He felt normal. He didn't know what that felt like because he had, he's been hypertensive for so many years. But that one medication had to go through errors to figure it out. They didn't just sit there and say, here, try this one, and it worked right off the bat. They went through 3 different medications, 3 or 4, to try to see which one works best for him. So people need to think about that. It's not medicine will never be concierge in the sense of, what is BK's logo? Like,
have it your way.
Have it your way. It's not like that.
Yeah.
We want it to be.
We would love it to be.
Healthcare professionals want that to be the same way too. Yeah. We want it to be where you get the best care and right off the bat you get healed and you're good to go. Okay. I'm not in it for the money. Hospitals are. So guess what? If hospitals have to play around with your medications, you get to stay sick. They get to keep making money.
Yeah.
It's a flawed system.
It is a very, very flawed system.
Flawed system.
So on that note, because we've talked about like the maternal health care crisis, we've talked about patient advocacy, we've talked about unions for nursing, we've talked about the attack on education funding, the systemic failures of hospitals, EMTALA to take care of patients. Why do you keep showing up every day?
Because God told me to. That's how I look at it. Yeah. My job is to be here to take care of other people. I'm here to be, honestly, I'm here to work for God. I'm here to serve out his purpose. And his purpose was take care of each other. Be one with each other. You love one another. That's what we're supposed to do. It's the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. If you want to be respected, respect others.
Yes.
If you want to be loved, love others. I guarantee you keep putting love out in the world, you're going to get love back.
Yeah.
But when you put hate in the world or you put spite in the world, you're going to get that crap back at you tenfold. Yeah. So I go into, and I say the office, I work from home, but I take care of my patients. Why? Because I love them. I genuinely want to see them happy. I genuinely want them to make their own choices of their own health and empower them. I do not want to sit there and take care of them until they're 90 years old if I don't have to. I want them to live to 90 years old and for them to adequately take care of themselves. Nobody wants to be taken care of because you don't know how you're in someone else's power at that, how they take care of you. I worked in a nursing home. Patients don't have dignity there.
Look, we're not even going to get into the nursing home aspect because that would be another hour along with the veterans health care.
Yep.
But I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
We need to have more nurses like you. And there are a lot of nurses out here.
Tons of them.
That are educating patients, that are educating people, that are advocating for you.
Yeah.
And we see them on social media, especially on TikTok lately, a lot.
Yes.
Why do you think it's important for healthcare professionals, and I'm going to continue to call you all professionals no matter what this administration says, because you all are healthcare professionals to me.
Yeah.
Why do you think they need to speak out publicly more about what's going on and how we can make changes as a community, as a country, as a whole?
Because we need to break the system. The system is flawed. So we have to
Yeah.
break it. And unfortunately, you know what? We're in the administration that wants to rip apart everything and start new with one big gecko, right? So they're
Mhm.
talking about the big beautiful bill. They're like, it's drastic changes. Well, it's time that we make drastic changes.
Yeah.
So healthcare providers, healthcare professionals, what we're doing is we're going on TikTok, we're going on podcasts, we're putting the education out there. We're not gatekeeping. We're giving it all to you guys because we want you to be healthier. We want you to stop feeding money to the hospital system and the insurance companies and the government because it's not coming back in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's going in theirs. So stop feeding them and let's put that money back in your pocket into your own health and empower you to take care of yourself
Yeah.
in easy ways. It's not crazy. Like what I teach my patients is not crazy. It's doable. You tell me your budget, you tell me what your grocery list is, I'm going to tell you how to tweak it. I'm not
Mhm.
telling you how to spend more money. If anything, I'm going to teach you how to save more money, still buy the stuff that you want to buy, the flavors and all that stuff, but half the calories or half the, sugar that you're going to have
Yeah.
or salt. I'm going to teach you different ways. A lot of healthcare professionals are doing the same thing because we're sick of it. We're
Yeah.
sick of the hospitals like honestly raping you of your money.
Yeah.
It costs a fortune to go to the hospital, and
Oh,
insurance doesn't cover anything anymore.
$800 to $1,200 for an ambulance
Yeah,
ride.
yeah. And think about it. When you get in a car accident, you don't even call the police anymore to get a police report. You just call your insurance company. They handle it because it
Yep.
costs money for the police to come out
Yeah.
or a fire truck or an ambulance, right? Nobody wants to pay that extra fee,
Hmm.
of 5 grand or whatever it is. Insurance is not paying anything like it used to. Insurance used to be really good back in the day. You could have
And the
someone come
cost,
to
whew, the cost for insurance is about to skyrocket. Now, this interview was recorded on November 22nd,
Mhm.
2025. I want to make sure we put that date out there.
Yes.
As of right now, open season ends December 8th.
Yep.
We do not know what our healthcare costs are going to look like next year.
Yeah.
There is a projection. The projection is pretty freaking high for a lot of plans. Now, I'm speaking about the federal employees
Yep.
plans.
Yep.
I have not gone on the marketplace yet and looked at the cost
It's the same.
for healthcare for the same companies,
Yep.
but I'm telling you, from what I'm seeing online, they are exorbitant. We're talking 160%
Yeah.
of what people are paying now and then some.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So go ahead, Ancey.
I honestly, I work with a doctor. She's amazing. She does concierge medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Charges a flat fee every month, but you have her at your beck and call. Whatever you need, she does for you, whenever. Okay.
There is a huge rise of concierge doctor services going on right now, and I may participate in that
Yeah.
if
There's
these
a reason
healthcare
for that.
costs keep
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah. What I want people to understand is it's not because they're trying to make money. It's really not. It's because they know that insurance is flawed. So they're ripping insurance out of it. They're taking it completely out of the equation. And they're sitting there saying, you pay me, I will get all these services done. We're not going to go through insurance. We don't have to worry about it. We can get these services at a cheaper price because you're not going through insurance. Okay. You don't have to worry about it. We've got it covered. We give you 100% total care. And like I said, this physician that I know, I mean, she's amazing. She really, her patients love her.
Mm-hmm.
Call her for anything and everything, especially if it's emergent. If they're out of the state or even out of the country, they're calling her, you know, because they know that they can reach her. They pay for their services.
Yeah.
So people look at it and they're like, oh, they're just trying to make money. They're just trying to do this as a side hustle. No, they're doing it because if you line up how much you pay to your insurance company and how much you make or how much you pay to anything medical related, your lab work, your x-rays, any imaging, any hospitalizations, whether it's ER or inpatient, if you have mental health and you're seeing counseling, or getting mental health psychiatrists where you're getting medications, add all that up. And then look at how much that is. And now look at how much the price of concierge medicine is. And you will see you will pay at least a quarter of that amount
Yes.
concierge medicine. You'll save money.
I am currently paying $800 a month
Yep.
for me and Ryan and
Yep.
one child,
Yep.
who's not a child anymore. He's about to be 23
Mm-hmm.
in April.
Yep.
And I cannot believe the amount of we're not going to cover this medication
Oh, yeah.
that we get
Yeah.
from the insurance companies.
Yeah.
When I can go see concierge doctor and even pay out of pocket. And we have 2 health insurance
Yep.
premiums. Okay. So we have TRICARE and
The
we
supplement.
have Blue Cross Blue Shield Federal Employees Program.
Yep.
Okay. Both of them together still.
Mm-hmm.
We get denied for medication coverage all the
Yep.
time. And one medication my husband's been on since 2010,
Mm-hmm.
Humira,
Yep.
Blue Cross Blue Shield has said, now we're not going to cover it anymore.
Yeah.
He's been on the medication for 15 years.
Yeah.
And it actually works for
Mhm.
what we need him,
Mhm.
what it covers for him. And
Yeah.
now you're going to take him off of it. He has to get a biosimilar.
Mhm.
We don't know if it's going to work or not.
Mhm.
My husband has bilateral panuveitis.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a lot to explain, but I'll give you the down and dirty.
Yeah.
It's basically the membrane of his retina
Mhm.
and his eye wall. He builds up pockets of fluid in between those two,
Mhm.
and it affects his vision. It can make him blind.
Yeah.
Okay. He's had
It can
both
lead to
lenses in his
blind.
eyes replaced. Yeah. So he's on medication probably for the rest of his life for this.
Mhm.
He's been taking Humira since 2010. It was experimental, so we were paying out of pocket.
Yep.
It wasn't $2,000 a shot when
Right.
when he first started taking it, when we first started buying it. Then insurance started covering it, thank goodness.
Mhm.
Now he gets a 3-month supply.
Yep. And now insurance is saying that they're not going to cover it.
Now insurance is not going to cover it. That's 2,468.
Yeah.
8, 16, $24,000
Yep.
every 3 months.
Just to keep
that
him alive.
To keep his vision and to keep him alive.
Yep. Yep. Do you
Why
use other? Well, do you use other resources like GoodRx and do you use like?
We've never had to.
Yeah,
we've never had to because we've always paid.
Yep, out of
for
the
2 health insurance policies.
Yeah, you pay more, but you don't get the services for more. And the problem is, so this is why nurses are a little bit different, is because we don't just treat you and let you go. We give you resources. We will research for you. Medical providers, and when I say medical providers, I mean MDs. There's a lot that are really great and support NPs. They support nurses because they understand we are not fighting to take your job.
Right.
We're not. We're working with you. We're on the same team. So those MDs who are not afraid, who do not have that, I call it small man's complex, because they are not afraid. They are secure in their position, right? You have others that are sitting there saying, take away the NP program completely, which is where I think this whole thing is coming from. I think we're ending up trying to go to universal healthcare. And the way that they're doing that is by cutting everything off, not decreasing it, not slowly or gradually getting people into it. No, it's drastic cutting them off. Yeah. And so when you do that, well, now you're going to have providers, MDs, that are going to get overworked. You're going to have more sick people because you're not going to have nurses anymore. You're not going to have nurses that want to actually come in and take care of people because they won't get paid. How teachers still do this, God bless them, because they make $20,000 to $40,000 a year if they're lucky. If they're lucky.
Yeah.
Who in this world can survive on that anymore? You can't. And they're there taking care of your children for 8+ hours.
Yeah.
8+ hours. I tell all the teachers and nurses, I'm sorry. I know it's going to be the hardest thing. Go on strike. Don't go to work. Let's see what the parents will do when they have to take care of their kids.
Mhm.
I will pay out of pocket a
Do
teacher
you
their
do you
salary
think
to
you
take
think
care of
the air traffic controllers being shut down would shut this country down? Oh no, have the teachers stop working.
have the teachers
Have the
stop,
nurses
have the
stop
nurses
working.
stop. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the ones that are sitting there every day working their butt off to make
Mhm.
your life easier. Take them away and see what
Mhm.
happens. Because I can guarantee you, you're not going to see just a financial crash. You're going to see a crash in every single sector.
There you go.
You know.
And that includes nannies too,
Yep.
and au pairs,
Yep.
nannies and au pairs,
Yep.
along with teachers,
Yep.
because those two professional individuals taking care of other people's
Yeah.
children
Yeah.
are also
Yeah.
part of our education system.
And like I said, we're all a team. Guess what? If I didn't have teachers being able to educate my kids, I'd have to and still be able to manage work. During
Mm-hmm.
COVID, how many of us could not do that? Our kids were home. Our
Mm-hmm.
kids were home and we had to homeschool them and work at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, those of us that had to be on meetings, you could not have your children in the background playing. You had to have them in a separate room. Where is that being realistic? So now imagine life being like that 24/7 because it will become that way.
Yeah.
If teachers take a stand and they want to see that difference, they've got to take that stand and be like, I'm done. If you want me, you're going to have to pay me.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that's what they have to do. Nurses, same thing. If you want me to take care of this many patients, you've got to pay me. Not make me stay extra to get the time and a half.
Right.
Because if you paid a nurse what they were due, you wouldn't have a nursing shortage because we have tons
Yes.
of nurses out there. We're not in a shortage. The hospitals are in a shortage because they mistreat their nurses and they overwork them. And of course, they don't want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Executives get to go home at 5 o'clock, sometimes at 3 o'clock, sometimes at 12 o'clock. Nurses don't get to go home. They're working 12 hours, 12 hours on their feet, don't get to go to the bathroom, have to keep snacks in their pocket because in between patients' rooms, they have to put a bite of a granola bar in their mouth to keep
Mm-hmm.
staying awake and keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
So I just have a couple questions left. If a young person is probably going to watch this and they're thinking about becoming a healthcare professional,
Mhm.
um, what do you want them to know about getting into healthcare?
Healthcare is a selfless industry. It's meant to be selfless. So if you're going to go into it for the right reasons. Don't look at money because it's not a drive. Look at patient care. One day you will no longer be young. One day you will be old and need to be taken care of. And how you get out in the world and take care of people is going to be hopefully how you get taken care of when you're old, if you're doing
Mhm.
everything. But if you do someone dirty and you don't take care of them the right way, when you get older,
It's gonna come back.
it's going to come back.
It's definitely gonna come back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question.
Okay.
What do you do for self-care?
Honestly, I don't do much. Um,
Ancey!
I honestly, I don't
Come
have time.
on.
I don't have time because I was studying for my boards. When I passed my boards, I immediately jumped into let me go into doctorate because I want to go into research and I want to make some major changes with healthcare. So I was like,
Mhm.
let me get my doctorate done. Well, now all this nonsense happening, I might need some self care. But primarily, if I do anything, it's literally just lay in bed and watch some TV, watch some
Look,
Grey's Anatomy, watch
that's still self-care.
it is, but it's not, it's not self-care in the
Like
sense
going
like
out and getting a massage or going to a spa, or you don't
I don't
necessarily have to spend money to do
yeah,
self-care.
I don't do that. I will make it a point to see my friends
Mhm.
and get together with them. I do have a life group that we're a very close-knit, group. We've been together for years. We literally share our lives together. The women in the life group, we all go out together. We have like a ladies' night. Um, very close knit. So that is my self care, I would say, that I get to go and spend time with the people I love the most.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that that changes it gives me back my mental health. There's something soothing about being around people that genuinely love you
Yeah.
and want the best for you. When you have that community,
Oh,
that mental health is you're on point right there.
yeah.
You,
Yes.
you
That's
don't have
why
that depression.
that's why I'm lucky to have
Yeah.
my school friends
Yep.
here locally.
Yep.
And we're only about a half an hour away. I'm in between both of them. So
Yeah.
so one is over in Fort Worth and one is over in Waxahachie.
Okay.
Um, but I have so many other great people who
Yeah.
are still close by.
Yeah.
You're one of them, you and
Oh,
Kyle.
I love you
I
guys.
I've got Miss Honey, I've got Spaceship Oasis.
Yeah.
We've got Tracy
Yeah.
and Mike
Yep.
who are, half an hour away.
Yeah.
So we've got
And
some
not to
really
mention
great.
Ryan's brothers that he went to war with, and like literally,
Yeah,
like he served the country with. That's a
yeah.
band of brothers that you never break that brotherhood.
Oh,
You
absolutely
know,
not.
so
Absolutely not.
absolutely,
And they're all great people.
yeah.
His line brothers from North Carolina A&T,
Uh-huh.
they're all amazing, and I talk to them too.
Yeah.
He has a really large community of support for him.
That's
I don't have as large of a community, but
don't either.
my people are
Yeah.
like my people,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
we can call each other and be like, "Hey, what are you doing? I need some help."
Right.
Okay, hold on, I'm coming over,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
It takes a village to run, and honestly,
yes,
you need it. You need it.
yes,
Everybody needs it, which is
yes.
why I say you just need to love on everybody.
Mhm.
Make that community. If you don't have it, start making it. One person, if you could just change one person, give them a smile, say, have a good day.
Yeah,
They could be literally in the crappiest mood. But when you
that
sit there and smile at them and tell them, hey, you know what?
mm,
It's going to be a good day. They might not believe it, but guess what? Some part of it will hear. They'll hear a little part of it and their mood will start to change.
yeah.
Uplift
that
people.
that human connection,
Yeah.
we've got to maintain that.
Yes. We got to get it back.
We do have to get back
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Ancey, thank you so much.
You're
This
welcome.
was such a wonderful conversation. I really have to give props to you for coming
Thank
onto my show and
you.
talking about such controversial
Yeah.
topics in
Yeah.
healthcare.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really consider this a privilege
Thank
that I get
you.
to be a part of your time and take some of your time
Oh,
for
I
this.
appreciate it. Thank you for letting me be able to speak my voice and hopefully help, a lot of people. That's my
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
So,
Well, thank you so much for your time. And thank you all viewers for your time. This has been From A to Zoe. I'm your hostess, Zoe Robinson, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks again.